Hi guys, it's Vanessa from Wander Onwards, and this video is all about applying for visas. If you're applying for your first travel visa, don't be afraid. I've been through the visa process over 40 times, whether that was for my study abroad in India, whether that was for my visa to Myanmar, or even my family visa to the United Kingdom and Germany. I have been on so many visas, I kind of feel like I'm a spy. In this video, you're going to learn about the types of visas available, preparation for the mail-in application, preparation for the in-person application, and what to do if you've been approved or rejected. This video is for anyone who's applying for an international travel visa, whether that is a work visa, a student visa, a family reunification visa. I've pretty much done it all at great personal cost. If you're feeling particularly anxious about this whole process, I actually have a Move Abroad Masterclass. It's a 5-week intensive online course that you can pace yourself. And 3 times a year, I run live classes so you get direct access to me in order to ask whatever questions might be on your mind. My masterclass features everything from choosing the type of country you should move to visas and immigration, how to pay for your move, how to find jobs abroad, and even how to integrate. The visa process can be daunting and expensive, but not to worry, I got your back. I've done 100% of my own immigration paperwork since day one. I've been to over 50 countries. I've been living abroad for the last 7 years. Genuinely, I'd be surprised if you found anyone who's endured more visa crap than me. As a reminder, this is for informational purposes only. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so please do contact professional help before making any important decisions or big purchases. My first intense visa application process was in 2011. I had to not only get a new passport by myself, but I also needed to send it to New York when I was in Boston for my Indian student visa. I was gonna go to India to study abroad for the summer, and I could not wait. But there was this whole application process I needed to overcome before I was able to go. It was terrifying. I had to mail in my passport because I wasn't in New York, and I kept worrying about, are they gonna lose my passport? Are they gonna reject me and I'm gonna have to pay all over again? What if I don't get my visa application back in time? I ended up paying extra for the premium service, and that got me my passport back in like 2 weeks when I had over 2 months until I needed to go, but you live and you learn. This was the very start to my beautiful and complicated relationship with immigration. All right, let's talk about the type of visas that are available, and I've literally been on all of them. First, there's the short-term tourist visa, which is often less than 6 months. Then you have a work visa that ranges from 1 to 5 years typically. Then you have a student visa, which extends beyond 6 months until God knows when. Then there's a family and partner visa, sometimes called family reunification, and that's for permanent settled status. And those extend to various different times. And then you have specialized visas, which range from short-term to long-term. This could be anything from an entrepreneur visa to a work-study visa. The options are endless. So this video is not going to be focusing on the tourist visa on arrival process. Essentially what that means is if you're part of an approved passport list, you can just turn up to the immigration space at an airport, get a stamp, and then walk right in. Instead, this video is going to be focusing on the more formal visa process where you actually have to mail things in, prove your relationships or residencies, complicated things like that. Now, for whatever visa you're applying for, you're always going to have to submit basic identification documents and then supplementary materials based on what type of visa you're trying to get. The most common materials that you need to send in are a completed visa application form, 2 copies, 2 passport photos, and they're really specific about the size, a valid national passport, a personal cover letter, which explains your situation and what you're trying to apply for, if it's not already obvious. Sometimes you'll need proof of a clean criminal record, but that's very specific to certain countries. and then you'll need proof that you've paid the visa application fee. Okay, let's talk about the in-person visa application process. If you're lucky enough and there's an opportunity to make an appointment at an embassy or consulate to do your visa application in person, I would take it. More often than not, there's a long waiting list for this reason, and it's totally worth waiting. Sometimes there's even a premium service where you can pay extra so people can see you earlier, and if you have that opportunity, I would take it. I did just that in the United Kingdom, and for the low price of $1,600, they shut the door in my face, and my application was rejected. In a in-person visa application scenario, there's about 3 different scenarios that could happen. First, you'll have an in-person interview at the consulate of the country that you're interested in. They're gonna ask you some questions, take some documents off of you, potentially take some biometric information from you, which is like your thumbprint, some photos of you, and then you're gonna leave your documents there and they're gonna mail your application back to you, and you'll eventually know if you're approved or rejected. Second scenario, you'll go in person to the consulate of the country that you desire to move to, and then you're gonna sit down in person, answer questions, submit your application, give your biometric data, and then in the same encounter, they're going to give you your approval or your rejection that very same day. Then you can immediately leave with your documents in hand. You won't need the return envelope pre-stamped and prepaid for in that scenario. The third scenario would be some sort of combination of in-person and mail home scenario, where they'll also need you to go to different offices to submit different paperwork, perhaps get a health check like in China, or submit additional biometric information. Now, if you choose to pay for a more premium visa application process, that doesn't necessarily mean you're more likely to be approved. Like I said, I got rejected for my family visa in the United Kingdom based off of a misunderstanding. We ended up fighting it, and that's why I was able to stay. This section is about what to do if your visa application is rejected. If you were rejected for a silly, easily fixable reason, you can actually reapply or submit those documents through email more often than not. The embassy knows that this is a difficult process for everyone, so they're likely to be a little bit flexible. If you're rejected unfairly or there's some sort of dispute, then you're gonna need to take your application in writing to your own embassy and ask for help there. If you're lucky enough to be rejected in person, like I was, be sure that you're taking incredibly detailed notes about why you were rejected, what happened, what did they say, what was the rationale behind it, because you're going to need this as a paper trail for a later application or potentially lawyers. Your embassy will be able to give you the best advice for the situation, and if there's children involved or you're being told to leave the country ASAP, they're going to be able to provide more immediate help. Next, you're going to want to lawyer up. Typically, immigration lawyers start at $200 for even a consultation. So if you can't afford this, maybe the embassy route is your best bet. Unfortunately, visas and immigration is all about privilege. Those who have money and are wealthy and are the demographic of immigrant that they want will have more opportunities to make that move a reality. But you have something different. You have tenacity, because you're already trying to figure out how to solve your own problems on YouTube. Don't give up. I believe in you. Finally, keep applying. Don't give up. I know, especially for people who are trying to migrate to America, it's so disheartening to wait and send in application after application just for the privilege of living in that country. But your time will come, and these opportunities and doors are becoming more open despite what the news may say. There is no reason that immigrants like myself should be treated badly because we're trying to build a new home for ourselves somewhere else. Thanks for watching this video. As always, I have tons of move abroad information on my blog, wanderonwards.co, or on my YouTube channel. There's even a whole playlist, and I'll link it right there. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I post new content every single week. Good luck! Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to get notified about new videos every week.